Sensitive data is a tricky topic because the nature of sensitive data can vary so much depending on your particular research. Most of the sensitive data that we talk about with researchers is data from human participants or from patients. It's personal health information. It's some kind of personal information.
Well, I think sensitive data first is a fairly broad term that can mean that the data are sensitive for a variety of different reasons.
There are other types of sensitive data, like data from commercial partners, data about sensitive technologies. Maybe you're working at the nuclear reactor or something. That data can be incredibly sensitive, but it has different precautions that you would need to take compared to data from human participants.
So every data is sensitive to some extent, right? So sensitive in terms of you don't want to have the data, have people sign consent forms that no one will see this document apart from the team members, and then putting the data somewhere on your desk that someone can come and grab and run away with.
A lot of my experience working with people that have been systematically socially marginalized is that there is such a deep experience of having someone actually listen to them. That the kinds of things that people disclose are not what they would necessarily choose to put out in the public. And I think that's, that is part of the responsibility of holding close the fact that people are willing to give you a piece of their authentic self and not be casual with it. But I worry about the fact that I can't manage every researcher and their casualness with what people share.
I think we're always really honored when people share their stories with us. And I think that we also use a testimonial approach, which is that the individual story is connected to the collective. And so in our particular research project, it's a collective of experiences of gender-based violence. So I think with data management, that is part of that continuum, of honoring their stories. So collecting data in an ethical way, storing it in an ethical way, making sure that the highly sensitive data is protected and nothing's going to happen with it. And also ensuring that information is shared in good ways and that everyone on the team has access to an understanding of what gender-based violence is in Central America, what it's like in Canada. So having all that information to understand, I guess, why it's high-risk data and why it's a topic that produces a sense of vulnerability.
So most of what we talk about is data from human participants. And in those cases, our goal is always to protect the participant.
No matter what, if data is sensitive, you need to have protocols and you need to have done serious research about data security.
So of course you always want to adhere to whatever the requirements of your local ethics board or collaborators' ethics boards require. I think after that, you want to make sure that the data is backed up in multiple places, even though it is sensitive, and that those backup locations are secure and the data are sufficiently anonymized wherever they're saved, that the participants are protected.
You need to be sure that you are a proper custodian for people's sensitive experiences.
This series is brought to you by Spark, a center for social research innovation.